relations course that we have been doing. You will find it in one of my playlists on Professor Jessica. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And I will be back with more courses in these topics. The quote of this one is from Helen Keller, who says, I long to accomplish a great and noble task, but it is my chief duty to accomplish small tasks as if they were great and noble, which is just such a profound quote. It means that everything we approach in life, right, we should approach wholeheartedly and place importance on that. I tell my sons that, even when we have things we don't like or don't want to do them with passion, and you will always be better off than if you go into it begrudgingly and with a negative mindset. And that's exactly what we have been talking about in this course, is that we try to have that positive mindset and uh, from emotional intelligence and empathy and just a focus on being present and aware and showing up as a good person. And when we do that, we will have more personal happiness and more personal success, and our relationships will be better too. And another thing that this quote brings up is that there's 1,000 puzzle pieces, and I keep coming back to that. Personal, happiness and satisfaction, professional success, it's not just one thing that you do, but it's a million different things or 1,000 different things. And so all of them are important. All of them are important. And that is what we will be looking at in this chapter, is a lot of those things that we have been doing throughout this course. And then we will talk about now what, right? Now that we have all this information about personal growth and how we can develop, where do we take that? And that's what this final chapter is about. We are focusing on career success. But first, we are going to do a quick course recap. And so we have, as I said, already discussed a number of things that will make you more successful, both personally as well as professionally. And if you have not viewed the other videos in this course, I recommend you to start from chapter 1. All of the chapters are up, the 13 chapters of this book. So we have discussed a number of factors that create these good human relations with our work and with our personal relationships. And so these are the things that we did talk about. The importance of intelligence, emotional intelligence specifically, when we relate to others, professionally and personally. Understanding diversity and how our diversity and that of others can possibly impact our human relations. And that's surface level stuff, the stuff that you see, and then also the deep level stuff, values, preferences, personality. How do we work together with other people in a group setting? Every organization today will require us to work with other people. How do we do it well? Communication, your communication style, other people's communication styles. It impacts how we relate to them and how they relate to us. Conflict, very popular chapter. How do we handle conflict? Conflict is inevitable. And so making sure that we have the skills to deal with that surely will make our relations with other people better. We talked about ethics and the fact that being ethical brings value to your life, and other people will also see you as an effective person that they can trust. So, ethics helps us create these good relationships. Understanding our own motivation and that of other people helps us understand what makes people tick, if you will, or what drives them rather. So when you work with people on a team, when you supervise people, when you run your small business and you have a few employees, knowing what is important to them will help you be a better boss or business owner or team member. Knowing what we want out of our career will help us be happier, right? So knowing our vision, knowing our values will help us have better human relation skills. Decision making, this is a big one, right? As I've said before in this course, decision making and communication, maybe that is what everything is about. At least that's how we relate to the world. And so if we know how to make decisions rationally, not emotionally, not getting angry or not promising things when you are super happy, will actually help you have better relationships as well. Not no surprise there, I think. And then lastly, managing our own stress so that we don't spill over, so that we don't get too overwhelmed, so that we cannot handle our relationships with others. So, with that, remember, right, at the very top of this course, we were talking about emotional intelligence. And so that has been the red thread or the foundation for this entire course. And so this image here shows us how emotional intelligence works with the career success that this chapter focuses on. So, firstly, we have self awareness in this emotional intelligence model. And so, that in this chapter, we'll look at personality traits, communication, and then power behaviors. Then we have the self management piece, and that is now that we know our emotions, we are aware of who we are. Now we can start managing that piece. So, how do we control ourselves? How do we cope with things that happen to us? And then we also pay attention to other people, right? To their needs, their drivers, their behaviors. And so things such as how do we interact appropriately? What is our etiquette when we meet people? What is our etiquette when we use technology? How do we show up? Some basic things, but they matter because people have first impressions, etc. And lastly, how do we manage our relationships? How do we handle that change? How do we use our power that we have appropriately? Finding a mentor, super important. I tell all my students, everybody that I coach, that you want to have a board, right? You have want to have your own board with some coaches and some mentors on them, and these will be people that you find in your life, like professors or bosses or friends that you feel can add value to your life personally and professionally. And I do recommend finding people outside of your own expertise or domain, outside of your own industry, because that will help you get different perspectives on things, which will make that problem solving more effective for you. And social awareness, of course. So that's it. That's the intro to our final chapter on career success. I'll see you for part 2. Bye.